Marlene Potts from Stuffed Balloons from A to Z. I want to thank Surprize Enterprise for asking me to do this great Christmas video that we're going to go through together tonight. Now, a lot of you think of Christmas as, plushed animals and that type of thing inside of a balloon, but I'm going to have you think outside of the box a little bit tonight and maybe touch on a very untapped market. If you're a new balloon stuffer, if you're older balloon stuffer, you've been in business for a while, you probably know this, but there is $1 billion market out there that a lot of us are missing that is actually very easy and quick sales. And that is the pet market. Billions and billions of dollars are being spent on our fur babies, whether it's a bird or a hamster or a tortoise or a dog or a cat, and whether you're getting it as a gift or you already have it, maybe you don't have children and those are like your kids. Now I know this firsthand because I love getting gifts for my little dog. She means everything to me, and if you want to get me a gift, really getting me something for her is probably the best thing that you could buy me. So let's think out of the box. And also, if you go to a larger pet store, smaller pet stores are very stuffed with product. But a larger pet store actually has a lot of room up front for display space, and maybe even you with your machine, wrapping gifts for people's pets, hostess gifts, birthdays, right? Dog birthdays are huge now. And maybe even giving $5 to a charity, right? You might give $5 for a pet charity and you're there all week. You can give money back to the actual pet store. But a lot of times I don't do that because I'm actually purchasing the product there at their store. So they've made their money and I'm making money on wrapping, and they're actually very, very happy. So I also bring in new customers. The word kind of spreads that you're there all week. And once you make a stuffed balloon, and I'm sure you know this, then it kind of snowballs and more people come in. So keep this in mind. So that being said, we are gonna make a stuffed balloon for a new puppy for tonight. So I'm going to use 18-inch neck up stuffing balloon from Qualitex and my super stuffer, which is also part of the puff and stuff machine. This is my preferred machine, the one I started with actually 30 years ago. So this is the balloon stretcher. I'm going to take that neck of the balloon and I'm really going to push it down on the tongs, more than you think. Even if you're going to hand stretch it, you're definitely going to really work your fingers in it and get as much of the neck onto the machine as you can, whether, doesn't matter what type of machine you have, but that's how you want to put it on there, and then you'll have less rippage in the neck. So if your necks are ripping, it's probably because you don't have enough on the machine. Okay? So I got Now, with a machine of this quality, you're going to have a seal on here for a long time. You could literally walk away right now for a couple days and the seal will actually still be on there. So until I actually take the machine off or open the machine, or take the balloon off or open the machine, my seal is going to be there, my balloon will stay open. And the reason this is important is because as a mom, if you're working at home or maybe you have a busy store, you're doing a stuffed balloon and you just started it, maybe a customer walks in, or maybe your kids come home from school and you can't get back to it for an hour. You want to make sure that it stays inflated. That's a really important thing. If it's not staying inflated, maybe you don't have a machine of this caliber. You also could add clamps to the side. They don't have the ledge here on most of the less expensive machines, so you can add clamps, which will really keep it tight, and that may help you. That is one question I get a lot. How come the air is not staying in my stuffed balloon? So this is just a nice Tyvek protector for the neck so that I can put my hand in and out. So besides doing a pet video for Christmas, I'm going to use some untraditional colors. So if you follow the trends at all, the trend is really like this mint green, a red, and a pink, okay? So I'm going to use some tissue shred, and everything that I'm going to use you can actually purchase at Surprize Enterprise. And I think that they will have the links underneath. So if you're looking for this specific product or you want to make one just like this, you can find it there, okay? So I love tissue shred, and it can be a little messy, but I love it for the value. It comes very, very packed, really, really tight, and then you take it and you really stretch it out, and you just keep pulling it apart. And it's gonna expand. I've got some black in here. I'm using a little leftover. When I have items on display, I always keep my shred. Now, if you are going into a pet store or supermarket or wherever you're gonna make your display, at mall, always inflate and have, if you can have 15 or 20 stuffed balloons on display, you're going to sell a lot more. It's also gonna be a lot easier because there might be an hour or two wait for you to wrap a stuffed balloon, but if you have grab and go items, you will always sell more, okay? So I got a nice base of shred in there, pretty happy with that. I like to use 5-inch balloons. These are also Qualitex that I'm gonna inflate. And I just make them so that they fit through this hole. And as long as you don't make them too big, they're gonna fit in there. Okay, you don't want to go crazy with the size unless you're really wrapping things that are small and you need to fill the space. Okay, but right now, too much of that. So you got to get that red and green in there for Christmas. Now, of course, if you were doing Hanukkah, you would do shades of blue and silver, Kwanzaa, yellow and red and orange. Okay, so I just got 2 of each in there, and that's just to give it a little festive look. It's really for staging because I'm going to put my stuff in front of it, and it kind of helps lean your stuff against it, keeps the balloons back there, and it makes your design full 360 degrees. So if somebody looks at it, there's something going on all the way around it, right? So if you're presenting somebody with a gift, they put it on the table, it's interesting from all sides, okay? What I'm gonna wrap tonight is actually a little coat I bought my dog, all right? I leave, anytime you do clothing of any kind, whether it's for the dog or not, if you can leave it on the hanger, it's better. And I'm literally just folding the hanger, of course, because it's plastic. Always makes it much, much easier. I'm going to fold it out so you can see it. I take my dog out a lot at night, so I got her a nice reflective jacket. And no, she could care less, but I do, right? And that's the whole point. I'm going to use some treats. You could, if you had an extra plush animal, maybe a small one, as long as the eyes are not plastic, as long as they're actually like needle pointed eyes, and it's not filled with beams, you can use that. It's a dog toy, basically. So if you have something left over from Valentine's Day with a little heart, hey, that can become a dog toy. So you don't necessarily have to run out and buy new stuff. When you're going to make a picture for this for display, I suggest you really shop around your own house. Don't run out and buy new dog or cat or turtle stuff, whatever it is. You know, like this would be super cute for a turtle or a hamster. Like you put their little tunnels. You could almost build the little tunnels in there, which would be really cool, right? Put some little food in there. Okay, so I've got all my items in there. I got my little coat. I also, if I was doing maybe a baby product or something, I might even put tissue inside of the coat just to puff it up a little bit. Okay, make it look a little more normal. Now, some people knot their balloons to close them, which is fantastic. You can do that. The only reason I don't generally do that is because I have a staff and I do a large amount of stuffed balloons. It's much easier for me to teach them to use clips. Also doesn't hurt your hand, and if I need to get back in the balloon, believe it or not, to do something to that design, I can do it. If I tie it, I can't do that. I'm very limited, so I don't tie the balloons at all. So what I'm showing you here is called a Safe Tight disc. These are also sold at Surprize Enterprise. This is the newest one. It's the same exact thing, just a little less plastic, and everybody knows the world could use that, so that's a good thing, okay? So again, safe, tight disc. It's meant, I think for like 7 to 16-inch balloons or 14-inch balloons. Like, let's say you're having a political rally and they don't know how to tie balloons. They use the clips to tie the balloons, right, and give them away for if they're filled with helium. So it's not meant for this. It's just that I use it for this. So it's not like a stuffing clip. It's going to be a little crooked when I get it on there because the neck is actually bigger than what goes on this clip, but that's okay. And these have kept the air inside of a balloon for me for months. So there's no problem with air escaping, anything like that, just because it's not made for a stuffed balloon. So I am going to remove my line here. Okay, and on this machine, I have a little thumb starter that helps me get the balloon off of the machine. I'm twisting the neck, okay, and then I'm going to push down, which releases the seal, and I'm going to open it. But never would I actually give a customer a balloon this inflated. And the reason I wouldn't do that is because I need the customer to be able to get it in their car, right, to the next location, wherever they're going to give it, or maybe you're delivering it and you need to put it in your car and get it to where it's going. Now, every kid and every adult that comes in contact with this balloon is going to squeeze it. So if you leave it really tight, there's a good chance it's going to pop. And you don't want that. Now, understand that people are not as interested in the size of the balloon because this is a big balloon. They're used to seeing 11-inch balloons. It's more that there's something inside the balloon, okay? To you and I, it's not that fantastic because we're making them and we've seen it, done it, been there. But for everybody else, it's an amazing thing. So don't overthink that. Don't think it needs to look like an egg. It already looks like an egg. Okay, so the stand that I'm putting it on right now is just a 350, okay, from Qualitex. A lot of us use those, right? You inflate it, tie it together. Okay, so this is my thing, but we're gonna do something special to this balloon. Now, if you are selling stuffed balloons, you probably know by now that a lot of it has to do with your outward design, right? And the better you are at that and the more diverse that you offer that, you will make more, spend more, and have more return customers, okay? So instead of just always putting a bow and curling ribbon on there, you're gonna jazz it up and do some special stuff, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna put this to the side over here a little bit, and we are going to make something that's going to go around this, okay? So the first thing I'm going to start with, because I'm making a dog, is 4 chocolate balloons. These are sized to 9 inches, Qualitex chocolate, okay? And there's, I took 2, twisted them together, another 2, twisted them together, and made a quad. I am going to tie a water balloon, it's fairly good size, onto this because I need some weight so to make sure that it stands up, right, when I attach everything together, okay? There. And the next thing I'm going to do for this design is I'm going to use 2 Mocha 260s, okay? And a 260Q is Qualitex, but it means it's 2 inches in diameter and 60 inches long. If I'm using a 350, it means it's 3 inches in diameter and 50 inches long. Okay, that's what that stands for. And you'll notice like a Vitalik or Sempertex or Jamar, they don't call theirs 260Qs because the Q is for Qualitex. So a lot of people ask if that's a different balloon. No, it's just a manufacturer's thing. But I tied these 2 together, okay? I did leave about a hand at each end. And I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to tie it to the neck of one of these chocolate balloons. Okay. There. And I'm going to twist it around one balloon just to make it more secure, okay? And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm actually going to take my stuffed balloon, and I'm going to put it in the middle of these two balloons. Okay, that. And I am going to take some glue dots. I'm going to put that guy on that base. If you're more advanced, you can do the bean technique or the button technique. I've heard it called a few different things now that we have a lot of new people in the industry. But I'm literally just going to tape this on. Again, if you know the bean technique, you would tie it on, which is actually the most secure. I really try not to use tape, as little tape as I can on the balloon itself, on the outside, or glue dots, or whatever it is you use, hot glue. And I'm just taking off the little white parts of the glue dots. This. Put my 260 on the other side there. Make sure all my balloons are up, right? Because we want that to stick to the balloon. Sometimes you get a little crazy. All right. Threw the 260 in there. So, I actually know my balloons are not on there very securely. So, excuse, I don't like to have my back to the camera, but sometimes a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Okay, so my guy's on there, pretty secure. Okay, I'm going to bring these two up. Of course, this is my design, and you can do it any way you want. But I'm going to bring this side up and this side up. And I'm actually going to twist them right here, under, twist a little bit more, and then I'm going to cut these and tie them. Okay, I'm just kind of giving my dog a little body. You could even add more if you wanted. You could add 2 or 3, but every time you add an accent, it costs money. And if you can get more, like if you have a high-end clientele and they'll pay a lot for all those little embellishments and stuff, then geez, by all means, go for it. But the average consumer, you don't have to get that elaborate with. They like it just the way it is. Okay? So there, I've just tied it. I've got some ends there. Okay? I'm actually going to do another quad. These are sized to 4.5 inches. This is Mocha from Qualitex. Okay? And I'm going to add that right in here. And I'm using my 260s and I'm just wrapping them. Okay? And I'm going to tie a knot in there, just to make it stay a little better. Okay? So, the next big thing, and I have to say, I don't know if Surprize carries this dog, but they do carry a dog head. Okay? And we're going to attach that right there. Okay? And the way I'm going to do that is with a rubber band. So I'm going to do what they call a lark's head. And you also can absolutely tie a 260 on here. We just always use rubber bands, and they happen to be brown for this design, so it works out good. I'm not going to worry right now about which way the head goes, but we have a lot of designing to do. Okay. Now, the more of these you make, the faster you'll get, and if you've been making elves, then this is going to be no problem, right? So, this is filled with air, by the way. Okay, and we're going to wrap him in there really tight once we get going a little bit more. Okay, I have taken a 350 Mocha Qualitex and cut it in half, and I blew up one side and another side. And you kind of bend it, and I'm sure you realize I'm making the arms, right? Gotta have little arms. Okay, Now you can see I have a rubber band already attached, and the reason I do half and half instead of one just straight across, if you do one straight across, it makes the neck funny, like doesn't fit in there, especially because this is a 350. I prefer the 350 as arms because they last longer, they take a little bit more of a beating, and they just look like heftier and worth more money to your customer, okay? But at the end, I want to give them some little paws. So I've inflated some 5-inch baby pink that I'm going to tie to the ends. Geez, if you're a great twister, you know, you can do a whole bunch of things, but we're going to keep it simple tonight so that anybody can do this design. Okay. And then I'm going to cut my neck off just to make it a little more pleasing, right? This is to go with this little cheeks. Boy, I really wish I was getting a new puppy for Christmas, I gotta tell you. Oh, love dogs. So this gift would really excite me, and I would know right away, or maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would think it was already for my dog that I have. It's a good surprise gift for me. So, I'm also doing, again, you can use a 260 and tie it from end to end. We use rubber bands with a little lark head. Okay. And I'm just making sure it's super secure and tight, okay? And then I'm gonna put my arms through. Now, it's gonna be a little loose, so what I'm gonna do is I'm wrapping the arms around that quad a little bit, okay? Now, if you did a 260, you probably wouldn't have to do as much of that because the 260 is, you could cut it to length, where this is just a standard number 64 rubber band that we use for everything. Okay. All right, so could you give somebody this as a gift? Absolutely, right? Who wouldn't love this? But I'm going to pretend that this is going to a new, somebody's getting a new little girl puppy, okay? So I'm gonna add a little accent, and I'm gonna add a little bow up here, right? Just some extra ribbon that I have. Not going crazy, just making it cute, right? And I actually made a little pacifier. This is the bean technique, okay? And I'm gonna take that and put that on there. Like he's got a Frankie. See how a little Frankie. Perfect. Actually, I think I'm gonna do 2 on that one. And it's also because the head is shaped this way. I thought this was a cute, really, really cute balloon. These 3D balloons that manufacturers are bringing in. But they have, Politics also offers one that's flat. It actually works a little better, a little easier to work with, but still super, super cute. Okay. And then of course we would clean it. And what I use, you can either use balloon shine, or I love high shine, okay? High shine you spray on there, but you don't wipe it. And I suggest getting one of these bottles. It's for hairspray. It will make the high shine like a fine mist, and you'll use less, and it'll cover better on a clear balloon. And I also love STP. I thought I had a bottle here, but STP tire cleaner, the protectant. You can spray on there and rub it as well. Make it nice and clear, all that kind of good stuff. Put it in a bag, and away you go, right? So, my suggestion is try going to the pet store. Bring something with you. Tell them that you are going to take their items and put it inside a stuffed balloon. You're going to bring your machine there. It's going to be like a show, and you're going to sell their stuff. Like I said, maybe offer a donation. Tell them I'll either donate the money to a charity, or you can keep the $5. At $5, they'd be making maybe 10%. I guess depends what you charge for something like this. Make it fair. And again, for them, especially the big pet stores, it's not as much about what you're going to give them. It's that they know they're doing something different. And again, as the week progresses, you'll get busier and busier. The word will spread that you're there doing this fun stuff. Like you could put dog cookies in here. And once you're standing around, you're not going to be busy all the time. So you'll really start thinking about like, wow, like I said, let's put some hamster. Let's put that, looks like a little thing of hay for the rabbits in there. And, you'll kind of start going crazy, and they'll just look cuter and cuter and cuter. But you could have some bigger designs like this. I always suggest having some more expensive designs. Depending on the price of what you put inside there, we would usually charge about $60 for this design. So $60 plus what you have in there. And then you can have just some regular ones with curling ribbon and a bow. Maybe that dog bone, right? They have that big dog bone now you can put on there. But have some fun with it. And if you can't get into the mall, or it scares you and you want to be able to make your hours more to your own liking, try the pet store. Again, $1 billion business. I hope you take this tip and run with it. My name again is Marlene Potts from Stuffed Balloons from A to Z. I'm in Buffalo, New York. You can follow me on my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram channel or page. I also have a Facebook group. And feel free to ask me any questions if you're having a problem. I sell videos, masterclass videos with a little bit different designs. But I'm here to help you. So thanks again to Surprize Enterprise. Have a wonderful night. Ciao.